Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we start our lesson, we will begin with reciting surah. The first one will be Surah Al-Fatihah, Surah Taha ayat 1 hingga 5, Surah Al-Insyirah, Surah Al-Kafirun, and then Surah Al-Ikhlas by 3 times. After that, followed by selawat ke atas Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk memenuhi perintah Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk memenuhi hak Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk mendapat syafaat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam di akhirat kelak. Dan kita niatkan segala bacaan surah dan selawat kita ni untuk kedua orang tua, keluarga dan seluruh umat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kemudian doa sebelum belajar, semoga dengan usaha ini akan membantu pelajar agar mudah memahami dan dibukakan hati para pelajar untuk mencintai ilmu. Okay?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى تنزيلا ممن خلق الأرض والسماوات العلى الرحمن على العرش استوى. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد. 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 محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل 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 محمد
Doa sebelum belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma ftah alaina hikmataka wanshur alaina min hazaini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Ya Allah, bukakanlah ke atas kami hikmat-hikmat-Mu dan limpahilah ke atas kami khazanah rahmat-Mu, wahai yang maha pemurah lagi maha penyayang.
Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ya Rabbku, lapangkanlah untukku dadaku dan mudahkanlah untukku urusanku, dan lepaskanlah kekakuan dari lidahku, supaya mereka mengerti perkataanku.
Amin.
Amin, 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 Ya Rabbal Alamin. In this session, we will discuss about topic 2.2, Symmetry and Transformation, and we focus with topic 2.2.1, which is Lines of Symmetry and Reflection. So can you please get ready with your notes, page 98 until 102, and your worksheet, page 98 until page 100. For this topic, we will discuss two main subtopics. The first one will be lines of symmetry, and the second one is reflection. Now, let's start with lines of symmetry. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to recognize, visualize, and identify lines of symmetry. And the second one, draw the lines of symmetry. And our steps to success. The first one, recognize, visualize, and identify lines of symmetry. Second one, take ruler and draw the lines of symmetry. Can you please copy this down, this step to success, into your notes? Please do not neglect these steps to success, and you should copy it down in your notes. Now, by definition, a line of symmetry is a line that cuts a shape exactly in half. Please remember that for a line of symmetry, it means that that line cuts a shape exactly in half. For example, here I have folded a rectangle one way, okay, and I put the line of symmetry to be here, and then when I fold this rectangle, and it will become like this, okay, And as you can see here, it does not cut into half. Therefore, it did not work. Okay, we cannot put the line of symmetry diagonally like this. But when I put the line of symmetry to be here, okay, when I put the line of symmetry to be here, and then I fold that rectangle, and it exactly cut into half. Okay, it exactly cut into half, so it does work. Alright, the folded part sits perfectly on top, all edges matching. Alright, and this is a line of symmetry. Alright, this one is the line of symmetry. I repeat myself. Line of symmetry is when we fold that paper or we cut that paper, whatever it is, we cut the shape, it will cut into half. Okay? Lines of symmetry can be vertical, horizontal, or diagonal. Okay? So figure 1, the line of symmetry is to be in horizontal way. Diagram 2, like this, vertical way, and diagram 3 in terms of diagonal. Okay, and remember, line of symmetry is when we cut the shape, it exactly cut into half. Okay, it exactly fits the another parts of the shape like this. Okay, alright, now the line of symmetry produces reflection that coincide. Coincide mean tally, equal. And here is how shapes and objects can have multiple line of symmetry. Alright? And for letters, it always come out in exam. So make sure you know how to count the number of line of symmetry that create by that letters. Okay? So here are some examples of how shapes and objects can have multiple line of symmetry. In this slide, I will show you a video that proves the line of symmetry for each of these shapes. Okay, first we start with equilateral triangle. Okay, when we fold the paper with that line of symmetry and it exactly cut the paper into halves, so here we already have one line of symmetry. And we try another line of symmetry, another side, and that line cuts the paper into half. So we already have two lines of symmetry. And then we try to draw another line of symmetry in different side, like this. And we have another cut of half. So we already have three line of symmetry. Alright? And we try this one. Okay, we try this one. We cut the paper like this. And here you will see the paper does not cut into half. So for equilateral triangle, we only have three line of symmetry. Next, it is a square. We try to fold the square like this, and we got one line of symmetry. Alright, and then we try to fold another line of symmetry for this square. Then we will get another line of symmetry. Alright, now let us try to draw or fold the paper into fold the paper diagonally like this. Means here you draw lines of symmetry like this. Yes, we have another line of symmetry. And lastly, let's try the another diagonal line for this square. And yes, we have another line of symmetry. Therefore, for square, we have 4 lines of symmetry. Moving on with hexagon, the third shape. And when we fold the paper, it will show you all of the line of symmetry drawn for this shape will exactly cut the paper into half. Okay, as you can see here, when we draw line of symmetry and we fold it, it will show you that the paper will cut into half like this. And here it will prove to you that hexagon have 6 lines of symmetry. Okay. For this isosceles triangle, I'm really sorry that I accidentally deleted the video, but you can try to draw the isosceles triangle or cut a paper and form isosceles triangle, and you will find out that for isosceles triangle it only have 1 line of symmetry. Okay, next a rectangle. We try to draw line of symmetry diagonally like this, and it exactly cut the rectangle into half. Okay, so we already have 1 line of symmetry. Then we try to draw line of symmetry vertically, and when we fold it exactly cut the paper into half, so we already have 2 line of symmetry. And now let us try to draw the line of symmetry diagonally. Okay, like this, and you will find out that the paper does not cut into half. Okay, it does not cut into half, so we does not consider it as line of symmetry. We try another side like this, and still it does not cut the paper into half, so here we cannot say it a line of symmetry. Therefore, for rectangle, we only have 2 lines of symmetry. The last one, parallelogram. And here, we try to fold the paper. We try to draw line of symmetry and fold the paper. And we'll see the result after this. And let us recap. Line of symmetry means a lines that cut the shape into halves. Okay? But as you can see from this video, no matter where we draw the line of symmetry, it does not cut the parallelogram exactly into half. Okay, this one we try to draw line of symmetry but horizontally, and still we cannot see the shape cuts into half. Right? So here we can say that parallelogram, there is no lines of symmetry for it. Alright? Okay, the line of symmetry is also called mirror line or axis of symmetry. Remember that one? Line of symmetry, also called mirror line or axis of symmetry. And here, please remember that a circle has infinite lines of symmetry. Now, we move to example 1, and here we have part A and B. I will give you 1 minute to try, and please draw all the line of symmetry for this part A and part B. 1 minute from now. Okay, for part A, we only have one line of symmetry, which is here, vertically here. Okay, the line of symmetry is here, so we only have one line of symmetry for this arrow. And for part B, it is a regular hexagon. When we say regular, that means that shape have equal sides. Okay, so when we say regular hexagon, this shape have 6 equal sides, and the line of symmetry will be equal to the number of the sides. Okay, so here we going to have 6 line of symmetry. So please make sure you draw all of these 6 line of symmetry for this regular hexagon. Now we move to part C and D. I give you 1 minute to try. Okay, for part C, draw the lines of symmetry and state the number of lines of symmetry. So for this shape, we only have one line of symmetry. For part D, we have equal side for this one. And you need to draw all the lines of symmetry and state the number of lines of symmetry. And here we only have one line of symmetry diagonally put here. And the number of line of symmetry is 1. Next, part E and F. I give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now part E, shed one more square to make a pattern with one line of symmetry. So where we should put that one square, and I will put it here, right? And you can try to find out whether you have another way to get one more square to make the pattern with one line of symmetry. Okay, so one way is to put that another square is here. Okay, so you try to find out the another way. Okay, and for part F, a rectangle is drawn on a centimeter grid, whatever it is. When we say a rectangle, so we have two line of symmetry. One is this one, and another one is this one. Okay, so after this, we move to reflection. Now, let's move to the next subtopic, topic reflection. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to reflect plane shapes in horizontal, vertical, and diagonal mirror lines, including on a coordinate grid, means all four quadrants. And our steps to success. The first one, identify the axis of reflection. And second one, reflect and plot all the points of image, then join and label them. And actually, reflection you already learned during your primary level. So let's recap with this reflection and make this slide to enhance your understanding about the reflection and also the axis of reflection. Okay, properties of reflection. The image and the object have the same shape and same size. Here is the object and here is the image. And image means the shape that reflect the object. Object is the original shape and image is reflected shape, okay, of the object. The image and the object face the opposite direction. They will face each other like this. They will face each other like this. And the image must be the opposite of the object. The distance of the image from the axis of reflection. This is the line that reflects the object into its image. Okay, and that line we call it axis of reflection. And the distance here, okay, the distance here must be equal. Okay, the distance of the object and the image to the from the axis of reflection must be equal, and it must be perpendicular. Okay, perpendicular means L shape like this. All right, and please do not confuse yourself between line of symmetry and reflection. Okay, if we talk about line of symmetry, we only focus with the shape and we try to draw line on that shape and we try to fold that shape and make sure that line will cut the shape into half. That is line of symmetry. But for reflection, the whole of this object we need to reflect to the axis of reflection. Please be clear between line of symmetry and the reflection. Alright? And this axis of reflection, sometimes we call it mirror line also. Alright? So, if you still confused, please revise again your line of symmetry before you start with your reflection. Okay? Now, we move to example 2. And since you already learned this reflection during your primary level, so I will let you try to reflect this diagram ABCD through this axis of reflection, this mirror line MN. I give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now, so remember for reflection, the first thing that you need to know is the mirror line or axis of reflection. And here the axis of reflection is this line of MN. Okay, so you need to reflect all of the points here to the opposite side of this axis of reflection. Alright, and label as A1, B1, C1, and D1 the image. Okay, and make sure the distance of the object and the distance of the image is equidistant. That means the distance equal between the object to the axis of reflection, between the image to the axis of reflection, and it must be perpendicular, L shape, right? So for D and C, the image will be on this line of on this axis of reflection itself, right? And then we move to reflect that A. So here I put the line for you to see that the distance of this object to this axis of reflection and the distance of this image to the axis of reflections is equal. Okay, and it must be perpendicular, so your A1 should be here. Okay, and repeat the same thing for B. And here we have 4 square, and your image must also be 4 square from the axis of reflection. Label it as B1, and don't forget to join all of the points. Okay, so we join all of the points and we will have this image. Okay, and remember for reflection, the size and the shape of the image must be equal. It's just the image is reflect to this object. Okay, the image will be the opposite of the object. Okay, next example 3. I give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now you need to be extra careful if the axis of reflection is diagonal like this. Okay, and remember you need to draw the line, the equidistant line between the object with the axis of reflection and image with the axis of reflection, and make sure it is perpendicular to avoid any mistake. Okay, uh, we start with Q. So your Q1 will be here, right? Your S, we have 2 steps here, 1 step and a half. So your image must be 1 step in the half. Okay, so here is your S1. Next, your R. So your R is 1, 2, 3 steps from the axis of reflections. So the image must be 3 steps from the axis of reflection. 1, 2, 3. So here will be your R1. And make sure when you put your ruler, make sure it is L shape, okay? Perpendicular. If angle 90 degrees, okay? L shape. So we have 3 points already. And what about P? P will be here, okay? On the axis of reflection itself. So label P1 and don't leave your points like this. Join all the points and to create that image, okay? Therefore, the image of PQRS will be this one, okay? Example 4. The diagram shows triangle ABC. Here, write down the coordinates of B. So this will be the B. And start with X first, then Y. You will get 4 for your X and -2 for your Y. Therefore, the answer is 4 minus 2. B. Triangle ABC is reflected in the x-axis. Write down the coordinates of the image of point A only. Okay. So this will be the x-axis and the points of A1. The image will be 1, 1. Next, example 5, determining the axis of reflection. In this example, you need to find out the axis of reflection. You need to draw the axis of reflection. Okay? Therefore, you need to recall the properties of reflection, and the axis of reflection must be equidistant from the object and the image. You can join the object and image like this and draw a line like this as your axis of reflection, and make sure the distance of the object and the image must be equal from the axis of reflection. Okay? And the next one, it must be perpendicular. Alright, so this will be your axis of reflection. The last example, example 6. The diagram shows quadrilateral P and its image quadrilateral Q under a reflection. Draw accurately the axis of reflection showing the construction line. Okay, so the axis of reflection must be equidistant from the object and the image. You can join the object and image like this and draw the axis of reflection in between, and it must be perpendicular. Okay, perpendicular mean L shape like this. Therefore, this will be your axis of reflection. That's all for the topic of line of symmetry and reflection. Please revise again if you still confused between these two terms. These two terms are very important in exam. Okay, and complete your worksheet. Thank you so much for today. We will end our session by reciting doa. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Doa selepas belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inni astaudi'uka ma 'allamtani fardudhu ilayya inda hajati ilaihi wala tansani ya rabbal alamin. Ya Allah, sesungguhnya aku menitipkan padamu ilmu-ilmu yang telah engkau ajarkan kepadaku, dan kembalikanlah kepadaku sewaktu aku memerlukannya kembali. Dan janganlah engkau lupakan aku kepada ilmu itu, wahai Tuhan yang memiliki semesta alam. Amin.